execution. All right, time now for Grace's news.
Hello, Howie. Thank you for having me on. Some scary news today. Tiger Woods is in a serious, he's in surgery right now after a serious California car accident in Los Angeles. They had to rescue him with the jaws of life. Really horrible accident. The car looks terrible. There's tons of helicopter footage. So hoping that everything ends up being okay there and that he comes out of that safely. A lot of people very worried. I'm a huge Tiger Woods fan.
I thought he lived in Florida now. I thought he lived in Jupiter.
Yeah, I don't know. He was in LA, and it happened around 7:12 a.m. this morning. So we're getting it, piece by piece as this news breaks. But I guess they're operating on his legs right now, so it's looking like he's going to be okay. That's what everyone's hoping, but doesn't look good for I mean for golf in general, but the most important thing, obviously, in these situations is that the person's okay.
I already needed to be extracted from what was left of the car by the jaws of life. So obviously, it was a pretty serious accident.
Yeah, no, definitely. And a lot of the news stations right now are covering this. So if we get any updates, we'll let you guys know. In other news, Howie, I did want to stay with Merrick Garland for a minute.
Get it right, Grace. It's Garland Merrick. Just ask Senator McCaskill.
It is one of those names. It's a little bit tricky. Like it does sound, they both sound like last names.
Right. Could go either way.
You played that montage, which I'm a little jealous. I didn't have that during my show earlier, of him saying he doesn't know. But one of my favorite cuts was when Senator Kennedy asked him about transgender people playing in women's sports. And he was kind of perplexed at the difficulty of the question. I mean, keep in mind, this is the confirmation hearing for Attorney General of the United States. He's surprised he's getting tough questions. Take a listen.
In my last 20 seconds, I'm going to ask you if you agree with this statement. Allowing, and I'm not suggesting the answer one way or the other, I just want to know what you believe. Allowing biological males to compete in an all-female sport deprives women of the opportunity to participate fully and fairly in sports and is fundamentally unfair to female athletes.
This is a very difficult societal question that you're asking here. I know what underlies it.
I know, but you're going to be Attorney General.
You know what I find kind of amazing too, Howie, is that the people who are so afraid of ticking off certain factions of their party, they find every question to be difficult. Because if you're trying to make everybody happy and if you're trying not to offend one section of your party that's going to eat you alive.
They're not trying to make everybody happy, Grace. Do you think they're trying to make you and me happy?
No, I'm saying everybody in their own party happy. Like they can't tick off certain people. So they work around these answers when really, if you were a normal person, you'd have an opinion on that. You'd have a yes or no.
Did you see the story about the camp in Michigan, the gay campground?
No.
It's a place called Camp Boomerang. Transgender activists are slamming a campground for gay men because it is excluding women who they say are transgender men. Owners of Camp Boomerang RV Park and Campground, a new private gay campground in Orleans, Michigan, not Massachusetts, made it clear that the campground is for men only, effectively banning transgender men, biological females who consider themselves male. We understand this statement, unfortunately, may not make everyone happy, said the co-founder, Brian Quinn, but we feel it needs to be clarified. They're calling it transphobic, and that the gay owners have a lack of empathy and understanding for trans men. We never said it's about checks on male equipment, says the owner of the place. But let's be real here. If we let men, transgender men in and they go naked to the pool, that's when it's obvious that there's no, you know what. Sorry to put it bluntly, he said in a Facebook post, but if you don't like the rules, quietly leave. What does Greta Thunberg think of these rules at camp?
How dare you?
First it was the Boy Scouts, and I said nothing. Now it's the gay camp.
Now it's Camp Boomerang.
Well, Merrick Garland, or Garland Merrick, however you guys want to say it today, depending on what Claire McCaskill thinks, he's not the only one who's having trouble answering questions. As Howie pointed out, Jen Psaki is struggling a bit. And the one I wanted to play here is when I believe it was Caitlin Collins, Howie, and you've watched these as much as I have. CNN's Caitlin Collins hated Trump the most. I mean, she was right up there, like top 3 reporters who really, really despised him. And she's asking Jen Psaki now if Joe Biden is going to hold a solo press conference. And listen to the response. She basically gets laughed at. This is cut 4.
By this time in their presidencies, both President Trump and President Obama had held solo press conferences. So are there plans for President Biden to hold a solo press conference anytime soon?
He will hold a solo press conference, but I don't have a date for you at this point in time.
This week?
Not this week, no. Go ahead.
Get to pick the inquisitors himself?
What'd you say?
Will he get to pick the inquisitors himself?
Well, typically any president has a list of people that they're going to call upon, but usually it's a large number of people who are in the press room, and we certainly hope we'll be able to do that in a COVID-safe way.
Where's Glenn Kessler? I need a fact check on that. Is that typical protocol of a president? I don't remember Donald Trump's having to say, ABC Mary, you're next.
Jen, what will President Trump do first? Will he hold a solo press conference or will he hold a red solo cup in his hand?
She really, she does not want to answer these questions. And Howie, you played her before saying months and months of sacrifice. I mean, I just don't think that people are going to keep dealing with this for much longer. First of all, Biden's nowhere to be seen. He doesn't answer any questions. When the press is getting annoyed with you, you know it's bad. And it's just so obvious that they have no plan and that they're just making it up as they go. And Dr. Atlas was on TV today and he was just torching.
No,
Fauci.
it was really good.
Let's play some of those, Howie.
Yeah, let's play cut 16 from, this is Dr. Scott Atlas, who was President Trump's advisor, and he's from Stanford University. He's been on this show before. He's really smart. But of course they were down on him because he's not an epidemiologist, right? That's why they hated him. He doesn't have he doesn't have that PhD in social work or welfare like Dr. Farrar in LA or Dr. Sutters in Massachusetts. He's only a physician. What the hell does he know? Cut 16.
When you have people that keep repeating that kind of stuff, misinformation, totally ignoring the science on the masks, actually, completely ignoring, and therefore pushing false information, they're instilling fear. And that's what's worrisome here. Because when you look at the data on the surveys, over 70% of Americans say they will wear a mask after the pandemic is over. That's very frightening. We have a damaged American psyche, and it's due to these public health officials that are just really not saying the real data, probably because they don't want to admit that they were so wrong.
Boy, I am so happy that he said that. They are
better.
so wrong.
He grills him even more. But before we play more of that, Howie, Grace's News is brought to you by Toyota of Portsmouth, the house of value. I absolutely love my new RAV4 XLE, but what I love even more is the service that I got at Toyota. Leasing it was so easy. There was no pressure. And I wanted to mention that the service is great. They employ factory-trained technicians that can handle any maintenance or repair. If you're like me, that's a huge deal. You want everything easy. You don't have time to worry about it. So make sure you guys check them out. They are located just south of the Portsmouth traffic circle off 95. Go to toyotaportsmouth.com or visit them at the showroom and tell them Grace sent you. Let's play another one of, this is Dr. Scott Atlas. You guys will remember Howie had him on the show a lot. And like Howie said, he was doing a really good job for Trump. He was doing too good of a job, which is why the press hated him. Let's play another cut. Dr. Atlas.
There's not only no accountability, there's a repetition of stuff as if it were never proven wrong. I mean, we're seeing it with the schools. We see it with all these super spreader, things that you just said. We're hearing just waffling on things because I think you're right. People have a lot of pressure, and that's understandable. They don't want to be wrong, except they're instilling fear.
Yeah, it's like they don't want to be wrong, I guess, but they also never admit when they're wrong, and they keep making predictions. Like, Howie, if I made 10 wrong predictions in yesterday's show during Grace's News, I wouldn't come on today and make 10 more.
Right. Well, people have been noticing, and Scott Atlas isn't the only one, he's just the latest one, that when you're in the elite, there is no accountability for being wrong about predictions or about your policies if you're Fauci or Baker or Cuomo. The only thing you have to do is be in the herd mentality. They don't care about herd immunity. They just care about herd mentality. If you are towing the party line, there will be no consequences for being wrong. And that's what Scott Atlas is saying. And that's what's driving him and everybody else crazy who pays attention and who's paying a price for these wrong-headed decisions that they've been making for a year now.
And Victor Davis Hanson had a piece in American Greatness, Howie, a couple weeks ago. And he was in that piece, he was talking about the Lincoln Project, but he said something similar to what you just said. He was like, as long as you are hating on Donald Trump or making Donald Trump look bad, all of your sins will be forgiven. Nobody cares if you're wrong or if you're lying or if you're corrupt.
Or you're a perv.
Yeah, as long as your mission is Orange Man bad, you're good. By the way, guys, make sure you head to the 110 Grill in Plymouth. Sign up to win a free dinner with Grace. I'm announcing it Thursday. And most importantly, just by signing up, you get a free Plug Uglies.
All right. Thank you, Grace. Thank you for Grace's news. All right. This is the week you've been waiting for. My friends at Eden Pure have brought back the ever so popular Thunderstorm Air Purifier BOGO offer. You may have gotten an email about this today, and the email says you never have to breathe dirty air again. And that's what this is all about. This offer expires Sunday, February 28th at midnight. With over 60,000 sold, the Thunderstorm is slated to sell out. So take advantage of this offer while supplies last. If you bought one and love it the way I do, then order now and you'll have two. You'll actually have three, I guess. Debbie from Auburn, Maine wrote, "Wet dog, sausage, and cigars were no match for the Thunderstorm. My listeners loved the Thunderstorm Air Purifier. Matt the vet, who's going to be on Friday night, as a matter of fact, loved it so much that he bought two more for his office."
Howie, as I've said, if you've got one, you're going to want another one. Different parts of your house are used for different things. They produce different smells. Your kitchen has a smell. Your basement has a smell. You may not realize it all the time, but if you actually think about it, they do have their own distinct scents. This will make them all smell the same. Unnoticeable. You'll smell fresh air, and that's all you'll notice.
It's a small device, as you can see, that you can hold in your hand and plug into the wall to purify the air from any odor, pet odors, kitchen smells, tobacco, or that damp smell lingering in your basement. When you take advantage of the BOGO offer, the Thunderstorm is below $100 and doesn't take up any room. Open that email that you just got a few minutes ago if you want to see more about the Thunderstorm. It's a great product, though. We all agree. Also, no filters are needed. Take advantage of the BOGO offer before it expires or simply runs out. Go to EdenPure.com and put in code word HowieBOGO. That's EdenPure.com BOGO, HowieBOGO. Shipping is free. I'm Howie Carr.
He didn't come here to be made sport of. Oh.